All right, today we are tackling a really ancient and mysterious name, one that echoes through the scriptures of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's a name that for a lot of people is synonymous with the end of the world. Gog and Magog.
For literally millennia, this name has conjured up these epic images of a final world-ending battle. But is that the whole picture? I mean, what does the story actually say? And why has it had such a powerful grip on our imagination for so long?
So, where does a powerful legend like this even begin? We're going to trace it all the way back to its very first appearance and see how it grew and changed into a story that has a relevance today that honestly might just surprise you.
Okay, our journey starts way back in the Hebrew Bible with the prophet Ezekiel. You know, his vision, written over 2,500 years ago, it really provides the original script for this whole drama. You'll see that all the other versions, in one way or another, they all build on this blueprint.
What's so wild is just how specific Ezekiel's vision is. He lays out all these core elements. There's a powerful leader, Gog, from this northern land called Magog. He gets together a whole coalition of nations you can actually identify, and they attack a people who think they're finally safe, living in peace. And the big finish? It's not some human victory. It's a dramatic divine rescue.
And the scale of this conflict Ezekiel describes, it's just staggering. I mean, the defeat of Gog's army is so absolute, so total, that it would take the Israelites 7 full years just to burn the leftover weapons. Think about that. This is no minor skirmish. We're talking about an overwhelming invasion met with even more overwhelming power.
But here's the thing. The story of Gog and Magog didn't just stay the same. As the centuries rolled by, it evolved, and I mean dramatically. It started adapting to new cultures and new ways of thinking about the world.
So, from its origins in the Hebrew Bible, the story gets retold and totally reinterpreted. First you see it pop up in the Christian New Testament, and then again, with this really significant new twist, in the Islamic Quran.
And you can really see the shift in both the scale and the timing. In the Christian book of Revelation, Gog and Magog aren't a specific group from the north anymore. Nope, they become a symbol for all the rebellious nations from the 4 corners of the earth. And they don't attack before the Messianic age, they attack after 1,000 years of peace. It's like a final test for all of creation.
Then the Islamic tradition comes along and introduces this completely new and frankly vivid element. Here, Gog and Magog, or Ya'juj and Ma'juj as they're known, they're this chaotic, corrupting force of nature that's been physically walled off from the rest of the world.
The story of this righteous ruler, Dhul Qarnayn, is just so compelling. See, he doesn't destroy Ya'juj and Ma'juj, he contains them. He builds this massive barrier of iron and copper, sealing them away until a very specific, divinely appointed moment near the end of time. And at that exact moment, the barrier will just crumble, and this contained force will surge across the world as a major sign of the final hour.
So you can see right here how the core idea just adapts across these traditions, right? Ezekiel's regional leader becomes Revelation's global symbol, which then becomes the Quran's contained chaotic force. The timing shifts, their identity shifts, but that fundamental idea of a final, overwhelming threat, that stays the same.
Okay, so if the details change this much, what's the deeper story being told here? What's the constant, unifying idea that makes this legend so incredibly persistent?
Well, when you look past all the specific details, you find that Gog and Magog consistently represent this powerful universal archetype, a symbol that speaks to a really deep and fundamental part of what it means to be human. So first up, they are chaos unbound. It doesn't matter if they come from the uttermost north or from behind a giant wall, they represent the eruption of disorder from beyond the edges of our known civilized world. They are literally the force that dissolves the boundaries we rely on to feel safe. Second, they represent the final test. And have you noticed the pattern here? They always appear when people feel they're most secure, when they're living in unwalled villages, or after 1,000 years of peace. They show up to ask the ultimate question: is the peace you've built genuine, or is it just a fragile illusion that's about to shatter?
And third, and this one is fascinating, they're the unintegrated shadow. I mean, that idea of a force being walled off is so psychologically powerful. Gog and Magog symbolize all the parts of ourselves and our societies that we try to repress, to deny, to lock away. And the story warns us, eventually, that wall always fails, and whatever we've disowned will come roaring back to be confronted. Understanding this deep archetype, it really helps us see why this ancient story has captivated people for thousands of years, and why, even today, in a mostly secular age, it still resonates with some of our deepest anxieties.
This quote just captures it perfectly. It's not really about a battle. It's about a final stress test on the very fabric of moral and cosmic order. It's that one moment that reveals what's real and what was just an illusion of stability.
Ultimately, the story of Gog and Magog endures because it speaks to this fundamental human anxiety. We build systems, we build societies, we build walls, all to create order and security. But deep down, we are always aware of how fragile that order is, and we fear the chaos that lies just beyond the horizon.
And that really leaves us with a provocative thought, doesn't it? What are our modern barriers, the technological ones, the political ones, the psychological ones, that we've built to hold back the chaotic forces of our own time? And more importantly, what happens when those barriers start to crack? The story of Gog and Magog suggests that maybe, just maybe, the chaos we're trying to contain is a lot closer than we think.